Hello, I think you guys can hear me. Check. GZTV back with another video. And in this video, we are going to be talking about The Walking Dead. We're here in Season 8. We just watched the 4th episode last night, and today actually we're watching, as of now, the series finale 4, Outer Banks, which I think they're going for like 5 seasons on the series, though. So I think they just got renewed for at least Season 4. I'm not really sure where it's going, but yeah. We'll watch that later today, but now we have The Walking Dead, the plot, critical reception, and then after this video, we are actually doing a 2K gameplay on the brand new Brandon Ingram card. I've been getting back into 2K a lot, and I've been making some gameplay videos. It's good content for the channel. Yeah, I'm probably going to make that video, work on some homework, probably watch Outer Banks. I'm not going to do a midday stream, although I might play some 2K for a little bit because we are out here grinding for Paulo Boncaro. But, let's go. So on a flashback, King Ezekiel prepares himself and his troops from the kingdom to go to war alongside the Alexandria and Hilltop communities against the Saviors. And this episode is pretty much centered on King Ezekiel. Obviously, there's other characters that get screen time, but this episode really is about King Ezekiel. He gives a rousing speech to boost morale before they depart. And we'll get to why the episode's called Some Guy. It's very interesting. In the present, Ezekiel crawls out from the pile of dead bodies of the kingdom soldiers. What an imagery! What a contrasting image that the directors did with this. I mean, I thought that was beautifully crafted. Their dead bodies laying on him compared to like them rallying around him, cheering him on. His troops had sacrificed themselves to protect Ezekiel from a savior assault. The enemy had used the machine guns Rick and Daryl had been searching for. Obviously, that was like the cliffhanger from the previous episode. With one leg wounded and the dead starting to reanimate, Ezekiel is rescued by a surviving kingdom soldier, Alvaro. Ezekiel and Alvaro attempt to get to safety, but Alvaro is killed with a fatal gunshot through the chest by a savior, Gunther, who is a new character played by Whitmer Thomas. He had a decent amount of screen time. I thought that was, what's his name from Good Mythical Morning, Link. The Savior takes the king hostage and tells him that he plans to turn Ezekiel to Negan for a handsome reward. He forces Ezekiel forward at gunpoint towards a fenced complex to escape the turned kingdom walkers following them. Throughout, Gunther taunts Ezekiel, mocking that even in death, his men still follow him. They're dead and they're like following him, he like kind of plays on the fact that they like worship the dude, and it's, I guess it's like an interesting sort of imagery. Yeah. Let's see. Reaching the complex's gate, they discover that it is locked. And Gunther, does he just not prepare for this? I'm not sure. With Ezekiel unable to climb, Gunther prepares to decapitate him and carry the head. However, Jerry suddenly appears and uses his axe to bisect Gunther's body with one swing, killing him and saving his leader. Obviously, some plot convenience there, but they can't kill King Ezekiel just yet. I mean, that's understandable, I think. But, yeah, it was pretty disgusting. I mean, the way their special effects work, it's kind of wild. Jerry then helps Ezekiel up, and the two defend themselves while trying to break the lock. In the nearby outpost, Carol surprises the Saviors, moving the machine guns, killing several. The remaining Saviors rush to transport the guns away by Humvee, resulting in a firefight outside the building, near where Ezekiel and Jerry are fighting, so they're eventually kind of going to reunite as a group, and yeah, that sort of thing. Carol was able to trick the Saviors into letting their guard down, killing all but 2 of them, but she then spots Ezekiel and Jerry close to being overrun by walkers, so she's kind of got to get over there to that situation. And yeah, she goes to help them, allowing the Saviors to escape in the Humvee. I mean, yeah, that's probably the good move. You'd rather save the king than, fight the 2 Saviors. Rescued, Ezekiel laments that Carol let the guns get away, but they even hear the roar, they then hear the roar of a nearby vehicle. So outside the complex, Rick and Daryl show up, giving chase, so it's not over yet. You let the guns go. We gotta, they gotta save, what's-his-face, the king, The two force the Humvee off the road. Back at the outpost, Carol and Jerry help escort Ezekiel through the growing walker horde with their ammo running low. There is a death that happens in this episode that's quite heartbreaking. It's not a human, but you guys should probably know what I'm talking about. Let's see. They come to a shallow creek milling with walkers, which is difficult for Ezekiel to cross with his injury. I think he got stabbed in the leg or something, I think. Carol and Jerry insist Ezekiel continue walking, but decides he'd rather stay behind and sacrifice himself to fight off the walkers for them. He's like their king. He's supposed to be like their hero, whatever, I guess it makes a little bit of sense. He breaks down and says to Jerry that he is just some guy and not worthy of being a leader, and that's why the episode's kind of called Some Guy, because he's just an ordinary person. He doesn't want to be treated as a king. He's not like a savior anymore. He doesn't want to be treated like that. Suddenly, Shiva, Ezekiel's pet Bengal tiger, unexpectedly arrives and tears into the walkers. He's able to fight them off and cause distraction, but the tiger ultimately sacrifices herself in the process, much to Ezekiel's heartbreak and outrage. Yeah, it sucks. I wanted to see Shiva more, but then again, it's kind of corny how they implemented her into the action scenes. She'd what would you call it? Conveniently show up. I don't know. Plot convenience device right there is that tiger. Carol and Jerry are then forced to take a tearful Ezekiel away. Eventually, the three make it back to the Kingdom Gates. Families of the soldiers that Ezekiel spoke to at the start of the day rush in to hear the news that everyone died. However, Ezekiel cannot bring himself to say anything and quietly walks away. Now, we're not really sure if he's going to keep taking on the role as the leader of the kingdom, but this is a pretty good episode. This is probably one of the best episodes of the season. 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.77 out of 10, 28 reviews. By keeping its focus on a fan favorite, Some Guy delivers a compelling, though ultimately heartbreaking episode with the whole Shiva thing and with King Ezekiel kind of losing his morale. It's the best episode of the season has seen for sure. The prosthetics, the makeup was great. Nicotero's best work to date. Ezekiel's breakdown is portrayed amazingly by Carrie Payton. The episode gets back to one of the series' core strengths, reducing a sprawling post-apocalyptic epic to a few pivotal moments in the lives of ordinary people. Carrie Payton does great work for the whole hour, and it's especially affecting at the moment Ezekiel has given up his Shakespearean dialect for slang out of pure terror and guilt. And yeah, it's very interesting to kind of see King Ezekiel break down and see his character develop as the season moves on. He realizes he's not these people's heroes necessarily. He's just some ordinary guy. He's just like everyone else, which is kind of a bad outlook to have on things. But it's probably a situation that we've all been a part of before in our lives. And, it sucks for him. I really liked him being in character as the king. I think it was quite entertaining at times. But, he realizes at the end of the day that he lived a normal life before this. It's not like he's a part of royalty or anything. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. As always, GZTV, giving you guys the best TV content out there. We are about to hit a 2K video here with the new Brandon Ingram card. And I also got to get a little bit of homework done today, so hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm going to eventually, tune into March Madness today, see what games are good, and if none of those games are good, I'm probably just going to talk about the NBA later tonight, so we'll have to see what goes down in the Elite Eight today.